Hi guys, welcome to a new video. Today I'm going to look at one of my Portulacaria afras. This is one that I had planted in this rock planter just because I liked, the rugged look of the planter with the rugged look of the bark and exposed roots. I just thought it looked really nice. But why I'm wanting to look at it today is because I think I pruned this last fall sometime. I haven't touched it yet this spring, and this is all the growth that it's put on. It's got one tall shoot here, but it just really hasn't done a whole lot. And contrasting that with another one that I put in the same planter, let me see if you can see this in the video. Let me just move this one out of the way. This one here, similar size trunk, similar size tree, but I've already pruned this at least once this year, and you can see it's put on new growth just in the last couple months. So this one's very happy, and it's in the same planter, same variety of tree, and get that one back over there. And but for some reason, um, this guy is not very happy. So today I thought I'd just talk about some signs that you need to maybe repot or at least take it out of the pot to see what's going on. Just make sure there's nothing going on underneath it. Um, I see some ants crawling on it, so I don't know if I've got a bug problem. I don't see any bugs up top. But anyway, they're both in my bonsai house, getting full sun. So similar environment, same pot, same soil, but totally different growth habits on the tree. So I thought today I would take it out of the pot, probably repot it into something a little bit bigger. I was thinking about this pot here, maybe not perfect, but it's going to give me a lot more surface area, probably double the surface area, roughly the same depth, but it's just going to give me a lot more space for the roots to um, grow into. So let's get this tray up here. I just use one of these big plant saucers when I'm repotting, and we'll see if we can get it. It's probably grown in there pretty well, so let me see if I can loosen it up some. But yeah, it's usually, some of the signs when you need to repot, or at least, take it out of the pot to look at it is, when the growth starts slowing down. That's one of the main things, because could be it's not getting nutrients or something just because the roots are so compact in there. But it's just weird that the other one, because I potted them pretty much the same time. Let me get a different tool here. Potted them pretty much the same time a couple years ago, I think. And the one is really, really happy, and this one is not. So see if we can get in here and take a look at it, see what's going on. And there may not be anything visually going on, but sometimes just a repot, maybe pruning some of the roots a little bit, just kind of spurs on new growth. So maybe a combination of things that will kind of make it happy again. So we'll see what. But it's perfect time to repot. We're in the middle of summer. I'm in Texas, zone 8B, so we've got 100-degree temperatures every day for a while. So it's perfect time for these guys to get repotted. Okay, so let's see what. I see one issue. If you, if you can see that in the camera, I've got ants crawling all around through that. So let me set this over here so they don't interfere with us. So that could be one issue. Just trying to look and see. I can see them crawling around in there. So I'm just going to hit it with some neem just to knock them down a little bit. So I think that could have been part of our issue. So let me clean off some of this soil here. So they could be stressing out the plant a little bit. Not sure. But we will clean this off. Yeah, I find that when I have like little bugs and stuff like that, I switch back and forth between using some neem oil and insecticidal soap. And that seems to... I'm going to go ahead and prune these just a little bit. Sometimes I find that, you know, if you've got a tree that's a little stagnant, if you just kind of root prune a little bit, kind of spurs on new growth. So we're going to go do that. Extra soil shaken off there. Just looking at it to see if I've got any more ants that I can see. I don't really see any. Don't see any up in the canopy yet either, so that's good. That neem oil really makes them scatter. So let me go dump this and see if that'll sit there for a minute. All right, I got that dumped, and while I was over there, I got some screen for the new pot. So let me cut a couple squares off here to put in there. And I'm going to go ahead and tie this tree into the pot. So get some wire here. Let me set the tree over here. Just kind of measure it out, eyeball it a little bit. Just look at the end of the pot, kind of roughly how much I need. It's going to come up somewhat like that. So I'll cut it somewhere in there. And looking at this, I'm going to probably run the wire over the center here somewhere, but there's really no wire holes in the center. So what I'm going to do is probably, you can see the wire holes over here. So I'm probably just going to run one through here and then diagonal over to that hole. That usually works. So we'll get that over there. Run this one through the other hole. and snug it up. There we go. And that, fold those over to the side like that. We'll put the screens in. I don't wire these in typically. I just kind of lay them in the bottom and then let the soil hold them down. So pour a little soil in here, right over those screens. Probably get it up to about half or a little more. And then once I get it up there, I'll test fit the tree. Let me look at just to make sure I don't see any ants. No, it looks pretty good. So there it's a little high, which is kind of what I expect, but then what I do is just kind of work on the positioning. This is actually the front of the tree, and then I'll just kind of push down and twist it back and forth to nestle it in there. Just stepping back and looking at the placement. It looks pretty good there. The front to back position is pretty good. So yeah, I'm pretty happy with that. Move it back a little bit. I think that works. I do see a couple ants there, so let's give it another little spritz. Just to discourage them a little bit. Oh, I kicked one of my buckets. I didn't kick that bucket, you know. I just got a bunch of soil buckets around me and I about tripped over one. So yeah, that looks pretty good there. So let's get this wire stretched over here. And then we'll just get that started and then continue tightening it down with the pliers. That should do it. It's pretty snug. Push that down. All right. Let's go ahead and fill the rest up with soil. All right, let's see if we can nestle some of that in there. Yeah, normally you don't want to like jab at the roots, but I know since my root ball is smaller than the pot, this area outside, I know I don't have any roots in, so I'm not damaging any roots. But once I go inside here, I angle this chopstick and just kind of wiggle it back and forth and almost in a round, and it'll help that soil nestle in there. And then sometimes it just kind of push it in with your thumbs. It'll get in there. And then you bang on the side. Helps nestle it in there even more. Okay. So there's the repot. Not looking too bad. Now I think I'll prune the top just a little bit. Yeah, it's funny, you can tell when, if you're used to your growth habits of your trees, and then all of a sudden something changes, like this one. Kind of tells you might have something going on that you need to look into. So I'm glad I did. You can tell the tree just wasn't as happy as it should have been. I just repositioned it a little bit. I lifted up the front, so I was pushing the soil back in where I left a void there. So I had the top leaning forward just a little bit too much. But I'm going to go ahead and prune this back a little bit more than I normally would. This needs to fill in over here. And hopefully it likes its repot, so it'll kind of bounce back from this. So go ahead and take off these shoots in here. This one back here we don't need. Okay, I think that will work for now. We'll get it back out on the bench and hopefully we'll see some good growth. Let me look at this wire though, now that I'm in here. This wire is a little tight, so I'm going to go ahead and take this wire off. Okay, and I've still got this wire up here that's kind of holding these branches together. Let me see if I need that or not. I think I can remove that too. There we go. Okay, so now we're all wire free and hopefully bug free. Yeah. This branch is growing down. Get rid of that over there, and I'll kind of open that up and give me a little pad over there. Okay. I think I might want to find me a little rock to put in there to look like it's kind of resting on that. Let me see if I can find a flatter rock. One here. Let me see if that looks good or not. Find one a little bit different than that. There, we'll just kind of nestle that in there, and that way it looks like that branch is kind of falling on that rock. And yeah, I think that works. That way I don't have that air gap through there. Just looked odd having that branch up in the air. Now it looks like it's kind of falling on the soil there, on that rock. Yeah, it looks good. All right, I think that's going to do it. Let me give you a spin around here. So there's the front, there's the left side, there's the back, right side, and back to the front. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next video.